What's going on, guys? Back in Forza Horizon 4. Today, we're going to be reviewing this brand new Corvette ZR1. Uh, I'm not sure how long ago this was added. Like I said last time, it's been quite a while. I took kind of a break from the game and just recording in general. But it was available to me for free, so I believe if you have the car pass, if you got like the Ultimate Edition and all that, you'll have this car at no cost to you. So, starting off with the review of it, I want to take it out stock and then see how it does stock, and then go into some of the modifications, see what kind of power you can squeeze out of it, see what kind of performance you can squeeze out of it. So for this, I'm gonna go back to the Horizon Festival. I like some of the roads over there. I like the drag strip right there. There's a few good things to kind of test the car out, see how it's gonna do. So now that we're here, let's take off. And it is a little wet, so traction's gonna be a little skimpy, but we will make do. So let's see, little squirrely rear end, as expected with this much power. I took that way too hot. That was really bad. That's a good example of what not to do. Yeah, this water is making it a little difficult to kind of test out the grip of the car. Let's see, maybe I can set up this event.
Turn around.
Let's see how this car does in the dry. Obviously in the wet, pretty much anything is gonna be squirrely. It's not gonna be a good measure of it. So I want to take it out and actually get a good measure of the car before I start customizing it and all that good stuff. So jumping into this, go ahead and start and go. I'm not going to focus too much on my positioning or anything. Honestly, I'm not even going to finish this race, but I do kind of want to play around with it a little bit, see how it does in a competition setting, and like I said, with a little better weather. This thing is fast, so obviously unmodified. Haven't even tuned it or anything. The tires, I mean, it grips good. It obviously, if you take something too hot like that, it'll get sideways a little bit, like anything will. But it does a good job. I mean, it sticks. It's planted. These sweepers like this, I have full confidence taking them at wide open throttle. And I'm, as you can see down in the bottom right, I'm doing like 150 plus in some of those sweepers. So light sweepers, not big curves. But even something like this, I have full confidence in this car to take that curve faster than all the drivatars in the race. That's for sure. Pretty freaking solid. So that kind of shows that. Let's not take up too much time beating a dead horse with that, but let's get out. Let's take it to the drag strip. Let's see what it can do in a straight line. Obviously, it's a ZR1. We know that it's going to be able to corner well, but for all intensive Forza purposes, let's see what it does on the drag strip. I know what it would do on the drag strip in real life. Let's see what it does on the Forza drag strip, which is, have to actually come in and locate it again. Right, where was it? Over here. That's right. I remember now.
Turn around.
I remember now.
To do so.
Oh yeah, and I can just drift over there a little bit.
In 200 yards, you will arrive at your destination.
That was terrible.
Turn around when it is safe to do so.
Get the tires heated up. That's what I'm doing. Get them heated up so I can
You
get a
have
good
arrived
launch.
at your destination.
That was totally my plan. But let's see here. So let's line it up. I'm not competing with anybody, so screw the lights, screw the Christmas tree. I'm doing my own thing. Definitely could have got a better launch. Maybe we'll do like best 2 out of 3. That was a really crappy shift and not a great time. So let's see. That was like 131, which is pretty bad. See, it's a little wet out here also. That is definitely not helping. But let's do one more run and then we'll take it. We'll see what kind of power we can get out of it. Alright. So. Alright, a little better start there. A little better shifts throughout. Alright, 138. I'll take that for bone stock. Let's head over back here. I'm just going to fast travel there. It'll honestly be quicker than slowing down from 140, getting turned around, and then driving all the way back. I'm a big fan of fast traveling. I like driving, but at the end of the day, when I'm trying to do something, I just want to get there. So let's see. Upgrades and tuning. No body kit presets, which I fully expected. So let's just do a custom upgrade. Not gonna engine swap it. Let's see what engines are available. Lamborghini V12. I'm assuming Lamborghini, maybe Ferrari Racing V12, and a Racing 7.2. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. Let's see. Not gonna make it all-wheel drive either, but I am gonna make it twin turbo. Let's see. More downforce. See, I don't know why this is non-adjustable. I wish Forza could account for aero like that in real life would be, you know, functional and adjustable, but it doesn't. The only adjustable thing is, and I could be wrong on this, the only adjustable thing that I remember seeing is the actual Forza wing, which doesn't look nearly as good as the wing that's supposed to be on there. So, screw that. I'll leave that. Obviously, we're going to do race tires. Oh, wait. It already had race tires. Okay. So, we'll just do some cool Forza lettering. I don't want to do drag tires because I still want it to be able to actually, like, corner and stuff. So, make them a little wider. Track width. Let's play with this a little bit. There, that's good. Just a little wider. Just enough to sit pretty much flush. So there's that. I dig these. Those look sick on that car. The black contrasting with like that almost a little bluish silver. That looks good. So, backing out. Honestly, I always go through and I just fully upgrade this stuff. I don't really play with it too much. Unless I'm trying to achieve a specific class, I just do whatever. I typically always do the drift springs and dampers just because, and it may be a placebo effect, but I feel like it gets a little more steering angle. So, I don't know if that's scientifically proven with the game, but in my mind, it makes me feel better. So I do it. It makes me feel better. Cages aren't normally something I mess with too much unless it helps my handling. There are certain cars, most of them it actually hurts the handling, but I have seen some where the little like performance level actually increases a hair. If that's the case, then I'll usually go ahead and do the cage, or if it's just a car where I want it to look cool. This is one of those that I kind of want it to look cool. It only weighs 52 pounds. I'm about to shed a lot more than that, 582 pounds, so screw it. Since I am reviewing this car, I am going to go ahead and fully upgrade it. Realistically, I probably would not. Performance index right now is 942 into 943. So I would probably just like... Actually, it's not adding that quick. I would probably skip the engine stuff. Actually, no, not even. Doesn't seem to be increasing by that much. Usually, like, the performance level would increase a little quicker. I guess it just clicked. I'm nearing the end of the spectrum, so it's increasing a lot more slowly now. But, like, if I was a couple classes down, I would probably just max it out to the top of that class and leave it. Just because, like, this is a car that I actually want to use for races and stuff. It's not one of the, like, just max it out and play around with it. Those cars, at least I guess the way I play the game, they don't normally work out as well for races. They are just burnout machines. So let's go into... See, let's back out of this. Go ahead and buy it. I'm rich as heck anyway, so I don't care about 70,000 credits. Go into the tuning. Lower that PSI a little bit. Just a really basic tune. I don't know how I feel about that gearing. That's a really weird map, but I'm not going to play around with it too much. I am going to increase this to like somewhere about there. Because 273 is just a really long gear. Obviously, I'm going to reduce all of this massive amounts of camber. I'm going to leave some functional track camber, but I'm not looking for drift camber. So let's do that. See, that seems really high. Whatever. Obviously, it's lowered all the way. It's actually not a bad setup. I'm going to stiffen that a little bit and see how that does. But other than that, I don't play around with tuning nearly as much as I should. So, go and apply that, and let's go back. Should be dry outside now, so I shouldn't have to go through the process of entering a race. Very squirrely now. But it's quick and controllable. Let's see how it does here. Took that too hot, but kind of get the idea. Likes to drift, so if you like to drift in the game and you want this as a drift car, it seems to be working pretty good. So, word to the drifters, and I'm a drifter too. I love drifting in this game. It's one of my favorite aspects of Forza, but there are certain times where I just want to hop into a car like this and grip instead of slip. You're gonna need to do that in a higher gear with this car. That's the only thing. Come up to like 4th or 5th gear, you won't slide quite as much, and you can kind of power through that curve a little bit. in its current state, this would be pretty tough to use as an actual race car. If I was going to use this to race with, I would, let's see, what was I at? Like S2 or something? S2 performance class? Yeah, I would probably drop it down back to 900 into that, or like 899 or whatever it is, for like that S1 class. Max out that S1 class and just leave it there. Anything more than that is just going to be overkill, and it's not going to keep up because everything else in the S2 class is going to be like at that 999 level, and I'm way back here at 962, and all those cars that are way up at like 999 or like, sorry, 998, 999 is like the X class. All those cars are like the crazy supercars, like the freaking Paganis and Koenigsegg 1-to-1 and all that stuff. This is simply not going to keep up with that. Even if I were to convert it to all-wheel drive, obviously, you know, it would do better. I don't know how the handling would be. It would be a little weird. It's always a little weird converting to that. They always understeer. They get that like Lamborghini understeer, but it's not really what I want to do with this car. If you want to do that, more power to you. But I see this as a rear-wheel drive car, and if I was going to race it, I would leave it as such. So, coming back to the drag strip, I don't really want to put drag tires on it. I thought about it for a second, but let's just see what it does with the same tires. So, ended up listening to the Christmas tree. Wow, that was a terrible shift. I'm going to completely forfeit that attempt because that was bad. That was really bad. I could have sworn I missed it. All right. Get that launch right. Somewhere in there. Squirrely. Alright, so I went up from 138, way past the drag strip, to 159. That's not a bad improvement at all. If I were to put drag tires on this thing, it would really, really boogie. So, not a bad drag car either. Even with it being a purpose-built like track car, the ZR1, not a bad drag car either. If you were gonna compete with it, if like you play around and do drift competitions with your buddies, something to consider. Do one more run since I did two with the stock form. I think I did a little better that time. Yeah, 161. So not too bad. And pretty much a lot of that speed was coming from the second half of that, and not the first half, because the first half it wasn't really moving, it was just spinning. So not too bad in a straight line either. So if I were to rate this car from like a 1 to a 10, 8. I'd give it an 8. Definitely a 7, but probably an 8. I mean, I like it. I like the new ZR1s. They're mean looking. I didn't really know how I felt about the grill at first, and I kind of still don't, but I understand how much freaking airflow this thing needs, especially with the Z06s in the same generation having all those overheating issues. I understand why they did it. It doesn't really look all that bad. It's just a little awkward to me. Almost looks like a Aventador front bumper, but whatever. Function over form, right? The hood looks absolutely freaking awesome. I love just all the flowing lines everywhere, and then the vents that come out of it. it just looks really stealthy and cool. It looks like a fighter jet. So I like that a lot. I love the fenders on these cars. The Z06s kind of have the same fenders. I like it a lot. I like those really big fender vents. Um, the brakes are just massive, front and back. You don't normally see brakes that massive on the back, but obviously being, this being the car that it is, that it's built to be, they went overboard with it, and it came out awesome. So even as a Ford guy, I have very good things to say about the ZR1, IRL and in Forza. It's a good car, fun to drive, a lot of different things you can do with it. You can drift it, you can track it, you can drag it. So it's actually a really good all-around car to go very fast. So solid 7.5, 8 out of 10. So something to consider for all you guys out there wanting a car that fits one of those purposes. Check out the ZR1. Like I said, if you get the Ultimate Edition, it'll probably be free. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If there's any other cars you want me to review and kind of compare stock to the modified formula car, let me know and I'll do that. Kind of throw my thoughts in there like I did with this one. Good car all the way around, so good things to say. Check it out. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and a comment down below. Otherwise, I'll see you next time.